Another matchup for Brazil versus EU. They have an 0-2 record against European countries at the moment because of France and England. Well, now we've got a bit of England and a bit of Switzerland, so we'll see how well they do. Both of these guys, Card and Math, are in the two top teams in the South American RLCS. So if you do watch South American RLCS regionals, you're probably going to see these guys playing, and probably they might even be qualifying for LAN. But yeah, Repix and Breezy, two bubble players EU, but here they are trying to join forces to cross flags, going up against Brazil on the US East server. This is what we do for EU versus Brazil. Here we go. So Repix has decided that he's going to be blue team. Oh, we had a little bit of a camera awkwardness there. I think that was just a bug on Rocket League's end, but here we go. Math and Card against Breezy and Repix. These guys have got some very interesting connections to this server. Lots of yellow and red. I think Math has probably just tabbed into the game, because I always get this when I tab in, or that's just something that he's going to have to put up with all series long. But that's something that the Brazilian players, OCE players, Middle Eastern players, every non-EU and US East player has to be able to put up with some level of ping. It's just something that they have to get used to. So this is probably going to be one of the advantages, at least, that the Brazilian team have. I think the other advantage, something that Breezy and Repix have to be really careful of, is that Card, in his 2v2 matchup that he played against England, was looking really scary, especially in the air. So you gotta look out for this guy's aerial ability. Despite the fact that he's always playing with higher ping on other servers, he is an absolute monster. No hesitation, very efficient flight paths, and some pretty good accuracy as well when he actually gets to the ball. He's going to be the player who's going to try and take people out of the game. Hopefully opponents. There he's getting the ball away from Math. And a Card looking for an outplay on Repix. Gets the ball over both him and Breezy. Almost. Breezy does get his head up high. Makes contact with it. That's for Repix and Breezy. We saw Breezy on stream recently in a 1v1 loss. I think it was to EXO. He's been climbing up the 1v1 ladder recently. You know, it's fairly comfortable. Top 10, top 15, or top 20 player, depending on what day of the week you're looking at. And Repix, definitely one of the top players of Switzerland. So maybe we'll see him playing alongside another one of the Swiss boys in a twos match soon. So the only one we've had for Switzerland was not a win for them. It was, I think that was a loss to Saudi Arabia, right? They couldn't take down Ahmad and Fasul. It was Skyline Stocky that day. So far, Repix and Breezy have got a pretty good stranglehold on the Brazilians. They've got them pushed all the way back into their own half, but not too many realistic opportunities as of yet. That's a flip reset into turtle catch by Breezy, but he kind of got sat on by the ball there. Couldn't get it over the top of anybody. And this is at least promising for Brazil that they're not conceding after long periods of pressure like this. They're looking fairly comfortable, despite the fact that they're backed into their own half for a significant time. Breezy and Repix, they've just had a bit of trouble creating realistic chances. That was really impressive actually by Breezy initially, but he's popped it way too high for Repix to follow up on. Still though, first good chance does fall to him, and Card's going to step in, read the fake, and take it away from him. Now Card at the other end of the field, thinking about bumping Breezy. Repix is up on high and taking this one away. Math just gets a piece of that ball. It did not bounce the way he thought it would. Dodge to preserve boost from Card. He's got a bit out front of the ball though. Now he's going for the boost steal, which means Math can't move in. The recovery for Card being a bit longer there. This meant that Math has to stay far back. And now they've got a momentary 2v1. Math quickly runs away from the demo that Repix is trying to put on. And this is probably the one aspect of the game that Breezy's got to be the best player in the lobby in, is those 1v1 plays. He has been playing a lot of ones recently, but now Math's aerial ability, definitely scary as well. If I remember correctly, Math and Card are actually the two top goals per game players in South American RLCS, and possibly even just RLCS, period. As there's more goals in Brazilian RLCS than any other RLCS qualifier, even I think OCE. Repix and Breezy get demos on both Brazilian players. Flip reset by Repix. He tries to wave dash the landing, but it's not going to work out. Still scoreless here as we approach the final minute, but Breezy looking threatening. Double touch from a tight angle off the inside of the far post. Card is there to clear the danger, but that was the best shot of the game so far from Breezy. Really, really tight angle double touch attempt. Now he shuts down Card's dribble. Good spacing by Breezy. He's looking like the deadliest player in the lobby in offense at the moment. And no defensive blunders just yet. And now here comes Math for an aerial play. He's really aggressive in this one, leaving Card alone at the back, but Card's so solid in the air himself, he's just going to take this one away without too much trouble. It's going to be so interesting seeing the Brazilian players at LAN with that fair ping matchup. The only time we saw Brazilian or South American players at LAN was at the WSOE LAN, and that was a pickup team. Those guys were not an actual lineup. They're used to playing with each other. Oh, goal one of the game by Repix out of nowhere. And he's just got the ball past Card. Relatively free. And look at that. He's flown on top of Math on the goal line to ensure that the shot reaches the net. It looked like it was, you know, somewhat fortunate that he ended up in front of the ball there, but you can see actually watching his POV that that was fully intentional. So EU go in front by the single goal. It's good defense by Breezy again, absorbing a 50-50. Repix absorbs the second one. It's an open net for the second goal, which he will put in. 1 second remaining as EU lock in the win for game one. It was getting a bit desperate there for Brazil. You can understand where they're moving up there and trying to press any advantage they could find, but they did not get an opening. And that's game one to EU. Breezy and Repix, the E's. The E's and the R's. I wonder, do they have any other? No, that's the only common letters they have. EU versus Bra. I always thought that was funny when I was you know, when I was, I think I was 7 when I first saw Brazil in the World Cup of, you know, actual football, and their abbreviation was BRA, which at the time I thought was hilarious. Still do, to be honest. Switzerland have probably got one of the most confusing abbreviations, because it's not SWI, it's SUI, if I'm not mistaken. Was that 1982 when I was 8? Yeah, it was 1982, mate. Nah, it was the last time that Scotland were in a World Cup finals. It was 1998. Brazil took the lead against us. Actually, I remember the group very well because Scotland drew to Norway, 1-1, which was good because all we needed was to do okay against Brazil, or do better against Brazil than Norway did, and then beat Morocco. So all was well. We drew against Norway, lost 2-1 to Brazil. They scored, but then we equalised. Scotland got back in the game. I was like, oh! And then Brazil scored, of course, won the match. But then, of course, in typical Scottish football fashion, we went and lost the last game of the group to Morocco 3-0 and bombed out the group stage yet again. And that's a what a save for Repix. He's tried to hit this one into his crossbar, but the shot's just gone into the top corner. And 1-0 to Brazil. Card. Oh, it gets bumped way out of the play by Math. And a big opportunity. Math needs to be more careful there. If he does keep the ball fairly central on a kickoff, he's got to know that Card could be cheating up there. He's even got the option to look if he isn't sure. Just automatically driving to his side. They've almost lost their lead as well. It's another awkward play. Double commits happening for the Brazilian defenders. Luckily for them, they're recovering quickly and at opposite sides of the field. Delayed flick by Math makes it 2-0. And he airrolled so far forward into this one, I was wondering if he was going to backflip flick it. But it is just going to be a front flip flick with the back end of the car. Repix pre-jumped it, expecting a shot earlier. And there's 2-0. Ping has to play a big factor in that bump. Oh yeah, of course, but even without the ping and the bump goal for the first game, it would have been super hard to save. Repix played it very well. He hasn't checked if he could possibly gotten back to that, right? Wait. He wasn't back and couldn't have possibly gotten back to that. I think he could have. It looked like he could have saved this, the first goal of this game. It looked like Repix could make it. I think he could have. And if he can't make it, then it's still a what a save moment. Not mechanically, but positionally. He should have been there. It wasn't like the hardest shot to see coming or to save if Repix positioned himself correctly. Back pass from Card to Math. And the run down the line. Card actually going to stay on this one. Shuts down the counter-attack option. And Math into the middle of the play. Looking at the flip reset, but gets taken out of the game pretty quickly This is something we're pretty used to seeing from last time we watched Card play. He loves to take off for air dribbles in slow motion. Math with a good pass. This was a 2v1 play for Math to defend. But he's just beaten Breezy to the punch. Breezy maybe expecting Card to, or Math rather, to hit the ball straight down the line, but he's just got to cross the field with it against all odds. You know, after having such a quiet game one, it didn't look great for Brazil, but this is more like what you want to see from them. Lots of aggression, lots of speed. I think this end-to-end play does suit them a bit more. Good delayed 50-50 by Breezy though, and this is a bit of Card's fault. Although Math's the one getting dribbled, that shot by Card is nowhere near good enough. Breezy's actually salvaged this play spectacularly. He could have controlled the first touch a little bit better, but after hitting it so far away from himself, he managed to recover, continue being useful. Flip reset for Breezy. I think it landed because he didn't try to even wave dash in the landing. Now Repix trying to knock it past Card. No such luck. It looks like Math wasn't expecting such a high bounce because he's not able to read that one either. So 3-1. Score going into the final 2 minutes. Aerial play is looking dominant for the Brazilians, so 4 goals in now. And where was the defense for EU? Looks like Breezy all alone at the back. Didn't realize Repix was going to be so slow rotating back. You know, if they can keep playing like this, I think that Brazil might be the favourites going on in this one, because this boomer style of play definitely looks more comfortable for them than it does for Breezy and Repix. And if Breezy and Repix notice that, they should definitely be trying to slow down the play. They want to get dribbling options open and try to box in the Brazilians like they did in game one. So Brazil won't have any time to get out of their own half. They won't have any space to accelerate the ball at all. This has to really be a goal for Breezy, or it's just not going to work out. Look at the speed of the challenge by Math though. Before Breezy's even had a chance to reach the ball, Math's already arriving, bumping him into the ceiling. Gonna shout you out, Rocket League 94638. There you go, done. Either Repix or one of the Dignitas boys with a different name, or Johnny is a title changer. No, Repix got the Season 5 World Champion because he was a Dignitas sub. It is it's just a real title from being the Dignitas substitute for that season. Most substitutes for RLCS teams don't have a big part to play in RLCS World Championships, the exceptions being Turbopolsa in Season 3 and Gambit in Season 1. He played a fair bit of the season to help them qualify. Good save by Math here. Looks like he got a piece of it. But with the 4-1 lead, it's surely impossible for EU to come back. They're going to try though. They do get a second goal. It's really good interference on the clear there by Breezy. You're the only one in the chat? No, you're certainly not alone, my friend. Certainly not alone. Hang on. We might have an interesting end here because Breezy's deadly from this range, but he gets shot down by Math. It's a save on a flick with a whole lot of ping involved. Great pre-jump stuff. They lock in the win in game 2. They're not going to make this an easy series for EU to take. You can bet on that. Gambit wasn't a sub, it was Over0. Oh yeah, I guess Over0 was a sub. You're right. You're right, yeah. So Season 1 Over0 came in. Season 3 Turbopolsa came in for Maestro. Season 2, Jazer actually did play some League Play games. He was the Flipside Tactics sub, so he did something. Then Season 4 was Dignitas. Dogu didn't play any games. Season 5, Repix was a Dignitas sub. He didn't play any games. Season 6, Cloud9. I don't even know who their sub was, but I don't think he played any games, whoever it was. It was Sad Junior actually, wasn't it? So actually the first 3 seasons, the substitute player did at least contribute in some way. Obviously the biggest contribution coming from Turbopolsa, then Gambit, and then Jazer. Jazer was undefeated that season. He managed to get only wins. Yeah, it was sad. I remember now. It's a good setup here by Math, but Card is the only player back, and that's a risky ball to go for. Breezy with the open net, but nobody's to shoot it with. And it was an awkward shot. He knows probably could have put it away. It wasn't going to be simple to do so. Math trying to aerial this one back down to Card. He gets bumped out of the way by Repix on the recovery. It's great stuff by Repix. He fires from distance. Math with the answer. Let's see if EU can figure out how to win this one. I really do believe that if they want to put Brazil in an uncomfortable position, they should try and slow down the game, because Brazil are definitely throwing themselves forward for a lot of 50-50s that I wouldn't exactly recommend. They have no time to hesitate when they're playing with higher ping against the likes of high tier US East players. You can't hesitate, you just need to go. And they're kind of bringing that style into this gameplay as well. Great 50-50 by Math. Breezy just gets back in time. Card with the airball shot blocked by Repix. Stops for a cheeky wee boost steal before leaving. This looks more like what EU need to do. Dribbling plays on the ground, or close to the ground, have been the things that have, at least from my opinion, made Brazil look least comfortable. Certainly playing into their speed is not going to work. Math with a open net, but it's Repix blocking it, or Breezy rather blocking it. Let's see what Breezy can do here. That's sort of the play that's looking risky for Brazil, if I'm honest with you, coming in from the last man position and trying to take a 50-50. Probably not a good idea most of the time. So far, despite looking pretty deadly in offense, Brazil have been unable to score. Well, that starts to frustrate them. I'm sure Card will be remembering the last EU matchup he played, or matchup versus EU players. That was a 3-1 loss. Math, on the other hand, when he played with Kaio, he lost 3-0 to Fairy Peak and Alpha, if I remember correctly. Two of the best duelists, and also two of the best 2v2 players in the world. But where is Repix? Breezy just opened up the net, and Repix is at the halfway line. Tries to slam a side flip shot from the wall on target. But Brazil are currently blocking everything. It's 50-50 after 50-50. Looks like EU boys are well aware of how boost-starved the Brazilians are. They're trying to capitalize. Now with the ball being so slowly moving and all the way in the EU end, it's going to be harder for EU to punish. It's more baited 50-50s, and if Breezy had some more boost, I'd love to see him follow up on that. Good defense by Card. He brings Math into the play. Now Card's running on ahead of the ball. He might look for a bump. He didn't play onto Breezy there. It might have worked out if he did, because Math's shot was quick enough to get past him. Floor pinch from Repix, wide of target. Looking a lot like game one here. Look at that, Repix off the backboard, tries to rebound the ball as it comes in over his own head. But it's these awkward dribbling plays that are making Brazil look vulnerable. Repix narrowly misses another opportunity. This is what EU want. They just want to box in the Brazilians to this final third, because they don't look anywhere near as dangerous or comfortable there. Well, look at this from Math with almost no boost. He slams in a double touch, and that is just efficiency. 40 boost as he jumps off the wall, but he still reaches it. Perfect first touch, and they take the lead with 51 seconds left. So I've been telling you guys, the aerial plays for the Brazilians are really, really scary. It's going to be so cool to see them doing this at LAN with absolutely no fear. So Math is going to knock this one clear for EU. Card now coming into the center. Just blocking the most dangerous angle off from EU. It's now an open net for Card. He's going to boom it bottom left. Looks like that goal's woken them up. With 29 seconds to go, they take a goal lead by 2. Repix, again, not very comfortable on the goal line. He's looked susceptible. Not just that time, I'm thinking the long-range open net, or long-range shot that found the net past him earlier on in the series. Yeah, if you're liking Math and Card today, trust me, you'll be even more hyped to see them, should they qualify for LAN this very weekend, because these two are the highest goals per game players in the entire league. I think that Math at one point was at 1.5 goals per game. I'm going to check actually the stats on how that finished in league play. before we get into the next game, because I know where to find it. Yeah, so Math 1.5 goals per game during league play. That's crazy. Card 1.37 goals per game. Also crazy. Really, really impressive stuff by both of these guys in league play on the stat sheet. And, you know, with aerial play being a bigger proponent of 3v3 than 2v2, you can understand why. Like, that really is a difficult number to reach. Even getting 1 goal per game is impressive in 3v3. Like, the likes of K-Dot, Cuxer, you know, your gimmicks, Garrett G's in the past for JNaps when he's on farm. Those guys, if they're hitting 1 goal per game, they're very happy with themselves. That's a great stat. So 1.5 for Card. Or for Math, rather. The top team in the league. And 1.37 for Card, the second place team in the league. And they're going to get the opening goal here. Great passing play. Card down the line. Math with another long range shot. And is this going to be the first win that Brazil get in a twos match on stream? You know, Breezy and Repix have looked like a pretty dangerous team at times, but in terms of goal scoring potential, I think that the Brazilians have them beat. The one aspect that Repix and Breezy have, I think, impressed me more in is their decision making and challenges, what to go for, what not to go for, and that's obviously a really big part of 2v2. The double whiff on the backboard bounce is going to give Breezy a easy shot. Although it's easy to hit the target with this shot, what's less easy is getting it past the defenders who are flying in front of him, but he gets it into the corner. And there's an equalizer. When Brazil are playing well, they look like fish in water. Yeah, I like that. They do look like fish in water when they're playing well. They're just so quick and so efficient with their aerial play. It's going to be quite scary. If you run into an informed Brazilian team at LAN, that's not going to be fun to play against, because these guys are so quick, so fast. You've got to think that the organization of EU and NA teams is going to be the thing that can take them down, though. The experience, that is a fantastic finish by Breezy. I love that he's shooting this top right, because Card was ready to run across that goal and save a top left shot, but he did not think Breezy was going to keep it near post. I think that's the 1v1 experience coming in. Breezy knows how difficult it is to save those near post top corner shots. You are right back into the game, although it was Brazil who looked more lively early on. Math going to try and set up a double touch just like the one he scored last game, but in moves Breezy to remove that option from the equation. She can be flicked by Breezy here. Repix is there for it. Math brings it under control. A little bit of a panic by Math, but he's actually going to run straight into the net. What is this by Breezy? I think that Math just got away with a panic play. Yeah, Breezy just not realizing how quickly Math was recovering, and it was actually, like I said, Math who had more time on the goal line than he realized. He popped the ball when he maybe had time to bring it down. And that's another goal for EU, though, off the kickoff this time. Not the best kickoff by Math. He's way too low on it. The ball goes straight over his head. Breezy with the placement to the top corner, sorry. And they're back in front. When do you think Asia will be in RLCS? Maybe sooner with Epic? I really don't know. I don't know when Asia will be in RLCS. For, you know, other video games, the Asian scenes are much bigger than they are in Rocket League. And although there is an Asian scene for Rocket League, it's nowhere near the size of the NA and the EU scenes. I actually don't know if the South America scenes or OCE scenes are, you know, large in comparison. I don't think that they are, just because not so many people live in OCE. And South America probably has more people playing. Does anybody have the numbers on that? What are the actual numbers of people who play Rocket League every day in those other regions, you know, non-EU and NA regions? So that would be interesting to see. So maybe go look that up myself. But as for, you know, inclusion dates, when will Asia be in RLCS? When will Middle East be in RLCS? I have really got no idea. I've got no clue at all. So, you know, a lot, even in more established esports, and esports that have been around for much longer than Rocket League, you often have to wait, you know, a long time to get an actual league started, an official league that leads into
I just
RLCS.
finished work and
Rely
I
on
came
wild
on
card
Twitch to watch
seats.
some high-quality
Otherwise-
gameplay on an entertaining stream hosted by a charismatic streamer.
I know it's going to be a meme.
Khan isn't on yet,
I
so
knew
I
it.
thought I'd joyful say hello to you,
I
Johnny.
knew it. I was just waiting to see, okay, who's it going to be this time? This has got to be a meme. It's way too nice to be true. Thanks for the 5-month Twitch Prime, though. Smoosh de Goosh. Hey, thanks for using your Twitch Prime on me, not Sunless, because I know you only got one of those, so I really appreciate that. 4-2. EU take the lead. That is some really good recoveries by Breezy. Those side flips onto the wall, they land you so quick, so much more quickly than side flipping an open field. You see that Brazil were not ready for that recovery. Looking to take this one into game 5 here. Can Brazil bring it back? You know, if this does go to game 5, you have to give EU the advantage. Winning game 4 and looking like the team who are more, at least consistent with their strategy. Brazil have been a little bit dodgy at times with the 50-50s they're willing to take. It's these counter-attacks that I'm most impressive with for Brazil. They've been so on point with their passing and their aerial play. They're not giving themselves too many chances to counter-attack because they're so eager to pressure. As soon as the ball's in the opposition half, they pressure every single 50-50. It's like they're playing 3v3, which wouldn't be surprising if that's just their style because they want to be in the 3v3 zone for this weekend. Yeah, sitting back, actually letting Switzerland come at them. EU, so only repicks the Swiss. Breezy from England. Letting EU come at them is not the worst thing in the world, so they can then try and hit those counters.
I'm a
We'll play by
YouTube
card
fan.
again down the line.
Glad to be able to catch the stream and give you the Prime sub smile.
Hey, thanks for that, Brian Diaz. 2-month in a row Prime. Welcome back. I appreciate everybody who swings by from YouTube just to drop off a sub, Prime or otherwise. Continued flight path there by Breezy. It would have been awkward for Repix had he not done that. That might have just done enough to win them this game. It's still 2-goal lead for EU. Almost 3 as Math was beaten by Repix at the near post there. And there you have it, guys. We are going to be sorting this one out in a game 5. Because although Brazil get the consolation goal, it's just not going to be enough. GG. Alright, here we go. Game 5. Let's see if Brazil can pop off or if EU can hold them down, rein them in, prevent them from taking this win. First goal is going to be huge, of course. Especially if EU can get it. I really do think that they're going to feel comfortable just sitting back on that lead. Not taking too many risks. And no, that's not what you like to see. Math whiffs the overhead. That card didn't get the best 50-50 here, but Math's cheated up on it. He put himself in a really bad position. If he just stayed back on the goal line, he would have had it. Can I accept your friend request on Steam for a tournament idea? I don't have any space, sorry. Steam's got limited friend list space. So, no space on that. Have I had Flake's first Fairy from the 4 yet? The 4 is not, hasn't featured Fairy Peak yet, because Fairy Peak's actually in the lore games. He's the champion. So the 4 leads into the lore games, and that's casted by, or it is casted by me, but it's on the League of Rockets channel. So if you want to see the Fairy Peak versus Flakes from last week's the 4, then you need to head over to the League of Rockets on YouTube. You can catch it there. Brilliant production value as always. One of the coolest intros I've ever seen to a Rocket League match. Would recommend. Yeah, I'm casting, or I'm recording for next week's the 4 immediately after this. That's why I can't stay live on stream after we're done here today. Card flip reset over Repix. Breezy's there to make sure the goal lead stays intact for EU. Tries to pinch it into the middle for Repix, and Math can't get back. The defense for Math has looked a little bit inconsistent in this 5th game, the most important game. He's so eager to get off the goal line early and pressure the ball. But in doing so, he's taking himself a little bit out of position. Good save by Breezy, keeping the 2-goal lead intact. Repix just lands in front of Breezy here. I don't think Breezy was ready for that one. Luckily for them, they don't double commit. Go on Johnny's YouTube channel. You need to, you can go on my YouTube channel for the 4, which is a 4-player league. The winner of which every fortnight qualifies to the Lore Games, which is a King of the Hill style 1v1 tournament for $1,000. And that's on League of Rockets channel. We're combining our forces to make a little bi-weekly 1v1 tournament with 7 days of content in a row, 6 episodes of the 4 on my channel, and then 1 episode of the Lore Games on League of Rockets. I would recommend. What wheels does Breezy have? These look like black OEMs. No, they're not OEMs. These are black Dichis. Black Dichis for Breezy. And we're on his camera as he puts in a third goal. And Math, once again, a little bit too far forward. This is what I was worried about. If EU get there in front, they look so comfortable just sitting behind the ball and letting Brazil take themselves out of the game. Great catch by Repix. He's just going to try and mind game this one underneath. Card on the goal line. Breezy also with a mind game, but Math gets a block on it. Repix rushes in a challenge and takes Math out of the game. You can see that this is why sitting back and letting your opponents challenge in twos is not the worst thing in the world. Even though Repix got a big dunk on Math there, Card was still able to pick up the ball and start dribbling into the offensive half straight away. Breezy with the reset, actually backflip flicks it. That would have been a beautiful goal. Stopped well though by Card. Now Math ahead of the ball. Runs back into line with it. Tries to get the shot, but it's off the bar. Card too far back. Can't get the follow-up. 2 minutes now for Brazil. They want to get the comeback here. It's Math running ahead of it, but Card continues flying. It's like Math took off in the wrong angle. Now Breezy's starting to take over this lobby on the deck. Himself and Repix have been controlling the play in the 5th game, controlling the pace. Had the majority of the possession. If you just look at where the EU players are whenever Math and Card are trying to attack, it's usually between the ball and their goal. They're rarely taking themselves out of position. Just something that Math needed to do better this game. Just too aggressively positioned for lots of it. Slow air dribble by Card. Breezy's perfectly positioned for the rebound. And that was so close. That's so far for Card. Breezy with another backflip flick set up, this time in the middle of the air. Card's got an open net, but now Breezy's going to take that one away from him with a quick recovery. 1 minute left. 3 goals needed for Brazil. A Brazil team who looked so impressive at times with their aerial prowess in offense. Actually choosing which challenge to go for and choosing how aggressively to position when their second man has been their downfall. So things are not, of course, things that you need to worry about so much in 3v3 with the help of a third man. Pre-jump save by Math. Good read on Breezy's shot. They need to get the ball into the other end ASAP if they're going to get a win here today. Card tries to shoot directly into the net. He catches it way too thin. And Breezy controls the ball in the box. It's making it that bit harder for Brazil to get more goals. Low 50-50 for Repix. This is how they've been winning this last game. Just controlling challenges. They don't want any volatility or space to be given for free to the Brazilians. And that'll be game 5. And the series locked in. It's Repix and Breezy. 2 pretty scary twos players coming out of EU. Proved to be just a little bit too much for Card and Math. GG's. And that'll be the end of that one. Brazil and Hyping. They're all on Hyping actually. They're all pretty much. I think Card was about 130, so yeah, pretty much 120 ping versus 130. Pretty close. Yeah, that doesn't make it easier, by the way. Playing when you have high ping and you play against someone else who has high ping, that makes it a little bit even like more laggy. But you know, that's the fairest way to play Brazil versus someone else 2v2 matches. If we did Brazil versus NA, then only the Brazil players would have high ping. When I cast Lore, is the first time watching to keep the feeling like real reactions? Yes, it is. It is first time watching.